News, views, voices of the global Indian community. India abroad.
In Karnataka government. And my senior leader, George Abramji, ex-president and vice chairman, George Abramji, welcome. Pradeep Samala ji, working president, Northeast. Saab Pullar ji, working president, but I didn't see him. He came from all the way from California. National team of Indian Overseas Congress USA, who are working very hard. President and chairman all USA chapter president. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone who's sitting on the stage. I cannot mention everybody, but we love you. Thank you. Our friends in the media. And to all of you who are here to listen to our leader, Rahul ji, I extend a warm welcome. It is with a great pride that I stand before you today to welcome Rahul ji to Washington, D.C. on behalf of Indian Overseas Congress USA. I congratulate Rahul ji on becoming the leader of the opposition. This is a special moment for us. We gather to honor a leader who has dedicated his life to serving our country and carrying forward the rich legacy of India's freedom fighters. The Indian National Congress has played a vital role in shaping modern India. Under the guidance of great leaders like Mahatma Gandhi and Jawaharlal Nehru, the Congress party led our country to independence and later helped build a strong democracy. The bond between India and the United States is stronger because of the foundation laid by the Congress party. I want to thank all my brothers and sisters here whose hard work, innovation and dedication have made an significant part of the country's success and have contributed to our motherland. We are proud of our achievement and our deep love for India. Rahul ji understands this connection deeply. Rahul ji understands this connection deeply. He is a leader who listens to the people. He is a leader who listens to the people, both in India and around the world. Around the world, his Bharat Jodo Yatra was more than just a journey. It was a moment that united people. He has reminded the current BJP government of the importance of having a strong opposition, showing why Dr. Ambedkar and our leaders believe that the role of the opposition is crucial in our constitution to keep the government within its limits. Rahul ji dream of India where every citizen, whether in India or living abroad, feel a strong sense of belonging and pride in their country. He envisions an India that is not only economically strong but also especially just a nation that values diversity, inclusion and equality for everyone. Today, as we welcome Rahul ji to Washington, D.C., we renew our commitment to this value and building a strong, united India that is ready to lead on the global stage. We also celebrate the shared dreams of Indian and Indian American. We celebrate the shared dreams of Indians and Indian American who are working together for the progress of India and its peoples. Thank you, Rahul ji, for your fearless efforts and for being a voice of hope and change for millions. I also want to thank all of you and your continued dedication and support in strengthening the bond between India and the United States and your trust in the Indian National Congress. Together, we are reaching new heights and we will continue to do so under the leadership of our beloved leader Rahul ji and under the banner of Indian National Congress. Thank you, Rahul ji, again. Jai Hind. Thank you. Thank you. I love you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gilzian. Our next speaker is Shri Sam Pitroda, who absolutely does not need any introduction whatsoever to generations of Indians who see him as a leader in technology, a leader in public policy, and over the last so many years, he's led the Indian Overseas Congress worldwide. So without further ado, I'd like to invite Shri Sam Pitroda.
Mr. Rahul Gandhi, dignitaries on the dais, friends, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is a special privilege and honor for me to be with you. First, I want to welcome on behalf of the Indian Overseas Congress, Congress Party leader, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, to Washington, D.C. I also want to welcome you all to this event. I see many of my old friends. There aren't too many left, but some friends are still here, and it is good to see all of you. Indian Overseas Congress is part of the Indian National Congress organizational system in which various departments like professionals, farmers, Sevadal, women's organization coexist with various responsibilities in the country. We take responsibility to mobilize Indian diaspora outside of the country to promote Congress Party ideas, messages, and we really don't do any more kind of work that people think we do, which relates to campaigning, lobbying, because in US, laws are very strict about some of these activities. So we follow the rules and regulations of various countries while setting up IOC. Today we have IOC in 32 countries. We are in many Australian countries, we are in many European countries, Middle Eastern countries, US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, a lot of the countries in Asia Pacific. And Rahul Gandhi has been kind enough to give his time to us to reach out to our diaspora population, because Congress Party believes that diaspora is an important part of Congress Party. Almost all of the key figures in the independence movement in the Congress Party were basically NRIs. When we say this, many people don't like it, but every one of the key leader in independence movement came after studying abroad, living abroad, and brought with them certain amount of expertise, knowledge, experience that really built our party of that era. That tradition has continued. A lot of the domain experts went back to India, whether you talk about someone like Vikram Sarabhai, Baba, Korean Milk Revolution, Swaminathan, and this process has really brought in a lot of value from diaspora for India's development. When I came to US 60 years ago, in 1964, we had about 500 people of Indian origin in Chicago. Today, we have close to 400,000. Today, we have almost 5 million people of Indian origin in America. I mean, that's a very big number, very powerful force. And now you see Indian diaspora very successful all over. My generation had to struggle to survive. We came here to learn, and we decided to stay here to earn. But my children and their children are full of confidence, fair amount of education, and they are making substantial contribution to this country in a very big way. I tell you, whenever I come to Washington and I go to some of the government offices, like Mr. Gandhi and I went to one today, I find Indian talent all over. You go to all the think tanks, they're run by all young Indian girls. So this resource is something that could change America and ultimately help change India. So we as Congress Party are very interested in working with diaspora. We want you to be active in the Indian Overseas Congress here. Unfortunately, we get together on events like this, and then not much happens. So I urge you, request you all to be a little more active. We want to increase our membership. We want to improve our activities, initiatives, interactions, and we want to include everybody. We want to include minorities. We want to include Dalits. We want to include OBC. And India belongs to everyone. I tell you, when I was growing up, I was born in British Raj in 1942. When I was growing up in a small little tribal village in Orissa, right in front of my house was a Muslim family. On the left was Marwari, on the right was Sardarji, and in the back was tribal Oriya. And we all lived in total comfort, peace, playing with each other. No one ever thought in 40s and 50s that we were different. And when I see that change all of a sudden, when I'm in my 80s, it bothers me. Saying, what happened all of a sudden? Why is everybody asking you what is your caste? I'm supposed to be son of OBC. I didn't know that. I had no idea. Nobody ever told me that. Until I came to America, studied, had great jobs and made a lot of success, someone reminded me that I'm son of an OBC family. It didn't matter to me. I don't care. What is it? Who reminded? Rahul. Rahul in UP election mentioned in a very nice way that I hope India realizes that the telecom and IT revolution was brought in by a son of OBC. I hope you don't mind taking a little more time. No problem. I'll tell you what happened right after that. I got a call from my son in California saying, Dad, I saw on social media that Rahul Gandhi is saying, you are son of OBC. He said, what is OBC? because he had no idea of these initials. What does it mean? So I said, it's other backward class. He said, what do you mean backward class? He said, how could you be part of a backward class? You should be part of a forward class. You know, because you're thinking technology and all that. I said, no, it doesn't work that way. So at times, we must take pride in our roots. I told him that I'm proud to be a son of a carpenter. And all of us, if not in this generation, 2 generations earlier, come from poor families, diverse family background, and we are here because our parents and their parents worked hard to get us here. It is not because of my success I am here. I am here because of the successes of many of my colleagues, my neighbors, my friends. And that is the message we took away from the independence movement. Our founding fathers reminded us that India is all about democracy, diversity, inclusion, justice, freedom, liberty. All of these are very important words. It has deep meaning. It really is all about a way of life. Inclusion is a way of life. And it comes out loud and clear in the way you treat your driver. When I had my first heart surgery in India, I had 3 drivers. So my mother realized that on Diwali day, all my drivers were staying home while I was in the hospital going through quadruple bypass. So my mother went to these drivers and said, look, why don't you all go home? Your boss is in the hospital. You have children, you have a wife. So they said, no, Mataji, we can't go home because our boss is sick. So my mother really came hard on them. They went home and they came back in 1 hour. So my mother said, what happened? So they said, our wives threw us out. Saying, kaise aadmi ho? Tumhara saab mar raha hai aur tum maza kar rahe ho? That is the India I miss. And I think we have lost track of that India. We are too hung up on money, power. And the real essence of India is all about family, diversity, neighborhood. I said, how can I live without Sairi? That's part of my culture. That's part of me. I grew up in that kind of an environment. I went to Golden Temple with my wife for the first time. And I never, for a second, even felt that I don't belong here, though I'm not a very religious person. But look at the heritage, history. There is no other country like India, believe me, in terms of diversity. And that is the message of the Indian Overseas Congress. Indian Overseas Congress is not about Congress party, BJP party, throwing stone at each other, and criticizing this and criticizing that, because no matter what I say today, it will be twisted, it will be on Indian media, it will have completely different meaning, because institutions have been captured. Civil society doesn't work. Media is manipulated. And there is a huge divide between rich and poor. And we talk about this at length. And Rahul has done a lot of interesting analysis, study. This morning he and I talked at length about how religions fought. We spent about an hour and a half on the plane on Brahmins and, Buddhism and Jainism, and I learned a lot. I'm not an expert on religion because I don't pay any attention. I don't go to temple. I don't pray. I don't do this at all. I outsource religion to my wife. She does a great job and I don't interfere. Okay. But the point is, Indian politics is wedded to our religion, our way of life. And I see in this young man a great deal of talent in understanding India. He is committed to justice, liberty, equality, diversity. So when he talks about OBC and Dalits and tribals and minorities, he means what he is saying. He understands that the biggest challenge in India today is income inequality. We have a plan. It may not be a plan that average person can grasp or relate to in terms of GDP, GNP, per capita income. But it is a plan to give dignity and respect to every human being. It is a plan to find work for every young. It is a plan to create safe and secure environment for our women. And Congress Party is very concerned about India's future. Election results say one thing, but the real ground reality of India says something else. It is unfortunate that last 10 years have been difficult era for India from our perspective, from somebody else's perspective. It may be completely different. We respect that. But our goal is to create India that our founding fathers had thought of, had dreamed of. And that's the journey we are on. So I am very happy to see Rahul Gandhi here with us. I want to thank all our leaders, from Mohinder ji to George to Aarti to all of these people. I don't even know some of the names, unfortunately. But they all worked very hard to put together a group like this. It's not easy to organize an event like this on a working day in a city like Washington.
Thank you very much.
So you all have spent time, resources, so we appreciate that. We again welcome you, and my apology for taking a little more time than I was given. Mohinder ji will forgive me. And I really want Mr. Gandhi to come here and enlighten you. Thank you.